What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, big news, or at least relatively big news for Splinterlands in terms of how they are going to handle modern format and, of course, the terms of service that people have been talking about with battle helpers, bots, and all of that. So there's a post here officially from the team, and I think it's got some spicy stuff that I cannot wait to dive into the comments for. So let's actually just jump into it. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but let's just focus in on the main parts. So Splinterlands team is working on a number of upcoming changes to improve the matchmaking liquidity. That is the main focus of this in modern format, and to clarify and more actively enforce the terms of service around bots and battle helper usage in modern format, tournaments, and guild brawls. Now, fair play policy, this is what they have, right? So Splinterlands will be adding a fair play policy to our terms of service in order to provide more clarity on the rules for each of those areas, right? The new policy is going to be put into place on April 2nd. That's the next release date, I should say. But the fair play policy will specify, among other things, that both providing or using any tools or services that provide help to players during active battles in modern format, tournaments, or guilds is strictly prohibited. So it's not just if you're using them, but if you're providing, that is against terms of service. So just FYI, we know that, well, we'll get into it later. We'll be working with the community DAO to implement a clear process for enforcing the fair play policy and for handling violations going forward. Here's the big news. We are excited to welcome Sylar to the team. If you guys are not aware, he is from the community and the creator of the XBot botting, as well as the Battle Helper service, right, which is still running for Wild format. As a team member, Sylar will be specifically focused on working to enforce the new policy, both for players and for operators of third-party tools and services. As the creator and operator of one of the most popular third-party services, we believe that he is highly qualified for this position, and we look forward to working with him and the community to ensure fair play. Now, Sylar actually also put a message here. He says, "I understand and appreciate the importance of having a competitive game and acknowledge that many bot and battle helper tools, including XBot, have had a detrimental effect on the competitive integrity of the game. Going forward, I'm confident that I can leverage my knowledge and experience with these tools to develop a robust, accurate, and effective solution to enforce fair play." Okay, so this is the first half of it. We'll get into the second half in a second. What's fascinating here, and I've had Sylar on the show. I have nothing against him necessarily. I know that there were some allegations put out that he's running a private battle helper, available for folks, which is not cool, right? I don't know if he was like caught with it, or I know that there was some evidence being put out there. Again, I didn't follow up too closely on this just because I didn't even know what the team could do about it. This totally came out of left field. This was not on my bingo card, right? But it's a very catch me if you can type of situation where you take somebody who is running the battle helper, bring them on board, and help them to catch other people who might be, I shouldn't say who might be, but who are actually breaking the rules or terms of service. So, I agree that Sylar is actually one of the most qualified. I give a shout out here to Matt and the team for taking a definitive step towards this, because it definitely was something that was on the community's mind and starting to tear people apart. I definitely know many folks who heard, the rumors, allegations, whatever it is, and just felt a little helpless about what was going on and being like, yeah, well, like, what are we going to do, right? So how can we go about it? But bringing Sylar on, I'm actually in favor of this. I know people may not be for that, and, at the end of the day, like, I do believe that there's going to be some integrity here, especially now if Sylar is part of the team, that, whatever was going on, I'm sure he squared it up with Matt and the team, and they are going to move forward trying to actually make this a game that players want to play in. Because keep in mind, right, whether Sylar is running services for Splinterlands, which I'm sure he'll still be doing, or now being a part of the team, we all benefit. He will still benefit from the game actually growing. And one of the things that I think was a big, big detriment was the fact that people didn't feel like the game was fair in terms of having human versus human competition, right? The game integrity. So I'm excited for this new step forward. I can't sit here and say that it's going to be perfect or that it'll work, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy that there is a very kind of like directive step here, and the team didn't waste too much time with this. They're taking this head on. They're talking with the folks who are really in the weeds in this, meaning Sylar, and trying to find a way that we can actually move the game forward. So shout out to them for that. I like I said, I'm being optimistic here, maybe naive, but I'd like to think that this is at least a good step forward, because it's something that I wasn't expecting, but a good step forward, and hopefully it shows Matt's commitment to wanting to create a better gaming experience for many people. And I do think that that's important, right? Because Matt has always been more of the decentralized maxi, even though he came around last year with the bot ban and suggested we try it in modern. I think for the most part, it's been successful from a player's perspective. They enjoy it, but we've had match liquidity issues. There's been talk about, still people doing some black hat things. But this to me just shows that Matt is not being indifferent to it. He is actually trying to take a step forward, listening to the community and saying, we need to do something about it, right? The whole decentralization approach may not be ideal, at least not at this point in time. And, you want to be able to create a space where the game is actually fun and feels fair for folks. So I like it. I like the move. Beyond that, let's talk about the modern format rewards and match liquidity. When the new rank system is released, currently scheduled for April 2nd, winners of modern format battles will earn 50% more of the new Glint token than winners of wild format. That is actually huge, right? So this would be the same rating and modifiers. The Glint token will be able to be used in the new reward shop to purchase soulbound reward cards and many other items. But it looks like they'll have a post about that later. We hope that this will encourage more players to participate in modern format at all levels and help to ensure that players can more easily find suitable matches. Additionally, the team is planning to begin running automated accounts in modern format that will not earn any rewards in order to further ensure that players can always find a suitable match at all levels of play. These accounts will have hive wallets but no summon or spellbook, so they cannot earn and they will need to own or rent cards and be subjected to the same energy usage as others. So I don't know. I mean, is the team just fronting the bill on these? Like, I guess they own some cards. I'm not sure how that's all going to work. But this is another step in which they are trying to create a better experience in modern format. We look forward to these changes creating a much better experience and bringing significantly more players into modern format over time in the future as we make more progress towards improving player experience throughout the game and begin our marketing and promotional efforts. We expect that we will no longer need to run these non-earning automated accounts. However, we feel they're a good solution in the interim. So good stuff. I mean, I'm actually quite happy with this post. There's a definitive step being taken. For the Battle Hopper issue, and then for the match liquidity, 50% is a lot. I mean, so think about it this way, right? I made a video last week. I started running my bot again because I thought I would be able to earn more Glint in Wild, right? So, and that was just me actually wanting just Glint. I don't care about the SBS, right? I want more Glint, and that's why I was running the bot in Wild. But now, if I'm able to get 50% more, right? The bot's playing in like high diamond. I'm able to play in low diamond. I don't know what the difference is in terms of reward shares, but I wonder if it's competitive, right? And so if you can get me to get back into modern format, start playing more games there, which I do from time to time because I love it, right? But if you can get me to do that and the SPS is higher, ooh, that feels pretty good. So I like the incentives. I like the incentive-driven approach that the team is taking to this. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to what happens after April 2nd. Let's put it that way. I'm very excited for the reward shop and all of these changes. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very, very curious to hear how people are going to react to this news. I am just curious to see if there's any fun comments. Okay, no, there's no fun comments just yet. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.